Hi guys! So I took my lovely friends Harris and Rob out to PiliPili. It's a pretty well-known bar in Kibagabaga. They have a Rolls Royce, which rumour has it was driven here from Burundi many years ago, complete with the Spirit of Ecstasy. They also have a rather impressive collection of Royal Enfields. And there's a few craft shops and an art display if you're looking to pick up some souvenirs. We had a pretty cool night. There's usually some Afrobeats blasting, a swimming pool and a dining area upstairs. Lots of chill vibes. And of course, draft beer.
Yay!
It's the fried food capital of Kigali. Go for the onion rings and sambaza. And a bit like La Rustica, it's got a very nice view of the city. Not to oversell it, but there's also some big screens over the bar. I've watched many a Wimbledon championship from here. But then, as we were leaving, it all went wrong. So, fun fact, that piano is a gorgeous Sebastian Erard piano. And technically, I think it's 124 years old. And I'll tell you how I know it's 124 years old, is because this is the inside of it behind me. And when I took that out of the piano was 120 years old. And I've had that for 4 years now. So, Rudy, who is the owner of PiliPili, I am so sorry. I don't think he's watching this, but man, I am so sorry. So what happened was I first saw this piano in 2017 because very few people notice it, but as you walk into PiliPili, immediately on the right-hand side before you go up the steps is this piano. And it's beautiful. It really, really is. And it's quite an unusual piano as well because it doesn't have a cross frame inside. So when you look at the strings, they are all going diagonally down, straight down. Most modern pianos have got a crossbar, a cross string. So the mid and treble section go one way and the bass strings go another way. And that gives the piano a bit more strength and a bit more power when you're playing it. But that wasn't really properly popularised until about the Great Exhibition in, I think, I'm going to go with 1851, I might be wrong. Yeah, so you can tell it's an old piano. And you can also tell it's an old piano because the inside of it is literally a chunk of wood. I will show you the difference in a minute between this and a modern piano. And yeah, so Rudy very kindly let me take this away in 2021. And then COVID happened and everything got locked down and I never got on with it. So I've been fixing it on manana time. So seeing it again, and also Rudy was there and I sort of said hello very sheepishly. It'd been so long he didn't even remember who I was. So, but it kind of made me realise I need to get on with this. I've just bought another piano and on Wednesday it's being delivered. And Desiree, who is my friend, if you've been watching for a while, you'll probably know that I have another channel called Kigali Keys, which is where I just talk about my piano business, repairing pianos, tuning pianos. And I do that with a friend called Desiree, who's a carpenter, and he's delivering the piano on Wednesday. And I need him to do something for me. I need him to cut some parts for me to try and fix this. But there's a bit of a problem with that. And I'll show you what the problem is and why I'm sitting out here on a sunny afternoon contemplating my life choices. Pianos come in all shapes and sizes, but this is a bit of a beaten up example of a very modern piano. action, the insides, and you see it's made out of metal like this. They all come with some red feathers. Nobody's too sure why. I think the stork that delivers them sheds along the way. But yeah, they're really, really easy to take apart because you've got access to everything very, very easily. So yes, this is a fairly standard looking modern piano action. Whereas this is not so much. You can see it's absolutely solid block of wood, whereas the modern ones are more just metal skeleton. And one of the main problems we have here, I don't know if you can see this, but there's about 5 broken hammers. To be honest, something else that we need to fix are the existing hammers. Even the ones that aren't broken are really badly worn out. I mean, seriously badly worn out. So one option would be to send away for a whole set of new hammers, which would be expensive, very time consuming. Or, I mean, the whole reason that I took this is to have a play with it and see what we can do with it here in Rwanda that doesn't involve sending off for a whole load of new pieces. What I need Desiree to do is I want him to carve these out of wood so that we can wrap them in leather. It's kind of complicated to explain. There'll be a lot of people going, what the hell are you talking about? But in my head, I know what I want to do, starting with taking this elastic band out of the piano. The piano itself is going to have a whole host of problems. I reckon it's got pretty bad rust from what I remember. It's going to have slippage because it's just a very old piano. So yeah, with the piano this far gone, there isn't really a lot to lose. So maybe we can learn something from it. I mean, honestly, it's fascinating. This is a modern piano. And on this, you've got tiny, tiny little metal spoons that push the damper up when you put the hammer forward. But over here, instead of little spoons, we've got entire wooden fingers. It's just absolutely incredible. And I hate to say it, but you can kind of see how the quality dropped over time. Like the old stuff was really built to last. The problem that I've got is that on this, it's really, really easy to take the hammers off. Is you just whip off the damper and then you unscrew it from the other side and away you go. But with this, this isn't really what I'm used to. And I'm trying to figure out, I need to get a couple of these off to give them to Desiree. And I have absolutely no idea how you're supposed to do this. Oh no, there's a mummy spider. I'm sorry, mummy spider. I won't disturb you. I'm sorry. You find a lot of these in pianos. Spiders and mice. Okay, I'm going to go for this one. I've just realised if I try and take this bridle strap off, it's going to disintegrate because it's a really old piano. I feel like I'm going to end up restrapping this as well. Mind you, they made leather pretty strong in the 1800s. Oh God. There we go, we've got the bridle strap off and it hasn't completely fallen apart. That's a good start. Can you see? You see that? There's a little screw just there. That's the one that I want. And that should release the hammer and let me lift it out. Okay, there's a very, very high likelihood that I'm about to undo the wrong screw. There we go. Hope I can find it again when it comes out. Oh. Absolutely brilliant, fantastic. Drop the screw down there and it's done absolutely nothing at all to loosen the hammer. Back to the drawing board. Okay, I'm going to take this damper off just to see if I can learn anything more about how this is put together. Yep, there we go. I have an unsettling feeling that I might end up taking this entire thing apart and just cleaning it up properly. Okay, cats are not impressed. Right, well, sod it. I'm going to take the whole of the front off and see if that helps, because I have got no idea what I'm doing right now. Ooh! Oh, look at that. That's rather impressive. Hello. It's kind of amazing, isn't it? Look at at all of that. Still doesn't tell me an awful lot, but we shall see. Okay, maybe I did take the wrong screw off. Let's try taking this one off instead. Let's just start taking off screws and see what happens. Looks like that's made of brass at the back. It's kind of impressive. They don't make pianos out of brass anymore. Not that I've seen. Nope, that doesn't do anything either. What the hell are those screws for? What do they do? What is their purpose? Let's put that back in just before I lose it. I am quite good at that, losing things. Mostly my marbles whilst trying to figure out how to get into an old piano. Aha! There's the screw that I lost earlier. Ha 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 ha. Yay! Don't think I'm going to struggle too hard to put it back in just yet because it doesn't appear to serve any purpose right now. So, we know how to take the dampers off, but that is all that we know. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, look, 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 look. Look, that is a gecko egg. There is a baby gecko that will be born in this piano. I'm going to be very, very careful not to disturb that. Any gecko egg. Okay, I'm going to have a go at this one instead because it's on the end, which should make it a bit easier. Thankfully, I think I'm up to date on my tetanus shots. Take this dead spider carcass out. Honestly, you find so many of these in pianos. I never hurt them if they're alive, but you find so many dead bits. So usually on modern pianos, there's a screw right behind the jack here. There's a screw right there, and you unscrew it, and the hammer comes off. And there isn't a screw on this anywhere. And usually on the back here, there's a little screw that allows you to take the jack off. And that doesn't exist either. I honestly have no idea what I'm looking at here. It's quite baffling. It almost looks like the hammer is kept in place by two little wooden fingers. I'm just going to very gently put the gecko egg in here because I can't guarantee that I'm not going to knock him. Come on, little one. There we go. Oops. Not terribly delicately done, but if he does decide to hatch, at least he will be safe. Okay, so from the best of my ability, I can only see one way to do this, but I refuse to believe it's true because that would be insane. So there are screws every now and again along here, and it appears that this brass plate at the back is cut into segments. So I wonder if you have to undo each of the screws to loosen the brass plate, which appears to be holding the hammers in place with kind of a piece of wire or something. As and of itself, that would be a completely nuts and ridiculous way to build a piano there. That appears to be the piece of wire that I'm talking about that is holding everything in place. I don't even know what to say at this point. I've never seen a piano like this before, and it is absolutely flummoxed me. I don't think that I want to attempt this evening. I think I just want to play with the half blow pedal because I think that looks really cool. Look, you can see when you hit it, this bright red is the colour that the piano used to be when it was first made, and this is the colour it is now. You can see it on the back as well, the backing felt. It's like, what a change from like bright red to this red. The years have taken their toll. I'm calling it quits for the evening. I don't know what to do with this right now. If the broken hammer parts were still inside the piano, that would have been really helpful because then I wouldn't need to take one out, but this is going to be a long process. So Rudy, I don't think you're getting your piano back just yet. Let's go and see if we can hatch a gecko.